Ladies and gentlemen, Sean Davies, ColoradoReinsman. As you see, I'm back in the pen with our latest Mustang project, Shiloh, our Salt Wells mare. My client up in South Dakota, Pat Holmgren's internet adoption mare. And we're 1 week to the day from picking her up. And we've gone through a blizzard and we've had another snowstorm, so we've been a little limited with her. But you saw that video of my first hour with her, and in that first hour we made such a progress with her to the point where, you know, I had to reach over initially with the pole. Now I don't have to do the pole. I can just walk right in here and touch this horse without her getting all worried. And in 1 week progress, that's pretty darn good. And I'm gonna back off right there. So what I'm hoping to do today is get her comfortable enough to where I can snap this snap onto this halter and actually begin some lead training today. The ground was so bad in here, I couldn't really do it up to today, but every day I've come in, we've been cleaning the pen, we'd come in, I'd touch her, I'd try to get a little further on her. I've actually been able to touch her head a little bit. Now she likes to go away sometime. Now I'm going to pull that pressure off and say, hey, I'm over here. And she goes, I don't care, I'm over here. Yes, I know. She's quite the personality. She's coming up to the gate now. She's really talking to us a lot. She's a good girl. She likes her little scratchy spots on her neck. She'll start wiggling her lip. Yes, you will. Wiggle your lips, won't you? And then she'll go away, and I just let her. Good girl. Good girl. She's shedding like crazy. She says, I really like scratches back here. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. I like to go down her leg a little bit. Do not nibble on me. She tends to want to reach down and nibble on me. And I just want her to relax. Good girl. So we're making great progress there. I really have to get her lead trained so I can start working her. So what I've done here is I had a bunch of new rope that was donated to us not long ago. And this is probably a good 18-20 feet. Because I know that when I hook onto this horse, she's going to take off as soon as she feels the pressure on that lead rope. Now, what this real long rope is for is I'm going to let her run out like a fish. I'm going to build a loop here, a real nice loose loop, so when she goes, she doesn't squeeze on my hand. Who is a good girl? Now I would actually prefer to be on this side, because I'm going to come up here. She hasn't given me this left side as freely as the right. I was able to touch it the other day, so she's going to try to block me there. Don't get silly. Now one thing about this horse, she's as sweet as can be, but I have no doubt that if she gets a lot of pressure that she wouldn't come at me, because I can kind of sense that about her, that she will be defensive. And I don't want her attacking me. That'd be an ugly thing. You see, she wants to be where I am, so I like that. So I'm going to come back into this side and pet her right here. That was an excellent deal right there. I really like that. She says, okay. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Now this is the first time she's gotten comfortable enough on this left side. Don't nibble on me. To let me pet her. Now I'm going to walk off right there and take off that pressure. And you see, this horse is pretty well hooked on. I like that. Now, I'm going to come in right here. Now, I have to watch her, because I was touching her leg one day. She kind of reached down with her mouth open towards my hand, and I don't want her nibbling on me. That would be a very unpleasant sensation. Good girl. but it's what she knows. I mean, she's just doing her instinct. Would I take it personal? I'd probably be upset for a minute, but I'm not going to take it personal. It's just what she knows. So I don't take those things personal. I go, well, I guess I wasn't fast enough. Good girl. I'm going to touch that halter right there and walk off. Good girl. She says, I'm backing over the camera. So the reason I touch the halter, I want her to get used to things touching that. Now, I'm going to come back up here. Rubber. I'm going to touch that halter again. See how she reacted right there? As soon as she feels any pressure on that halter, it puts her into flight mode. And that's why you need a real long rope, because I'm going to lose a little bit of trust when I do this. See, she's starting to trust me. But when I get up here towards that halter, she says, oh, you're going to do something else to me. It's okay. That's part of the process. You're going to gain a lot of trust and lose a little every time you cross the next barrier. So, got a nice big snap here that if I can even get it on the bottom strands of that halter, I'm going to be in good shape. But, good girl. I want to get her used to this thing in my hand. She saw that rope. She said, what the heck is that? So I'm just going to be petting her here with this rope. And she'd rather walk away. And I'm going to walk away. Don't be ornery. You're all right. You're a good girl. You're a good girl. I'm going to reach over here and pet her. Good girl. I'm going to do it again. So I like to go with them. You're a good girl. Now, if I can hold that snap open and I can be quick about it, I'm going to touch that right there. Ooh, that's scary. You can see her. She's about ready to vacate the premises. And she goes, but where did you go? I really like the attention. I've got the other horses on each side of her turned out, so she's in here by herself. Kind of helps her concentrate on, you know, being with me. Good girl. She said, I'm not coming here. I'm going to the phone, going to the camera. You're okay. You're okay. Now, this is a process that you just have to take your time. Just that she's letting me on this side today, when this is really the second time she's allowed me to do this, this is a really good deal. Now, I may not be able to get it hooked into those little loops down below. I might have to get that bottom piece, which is going to be awkward, but it'll work if I can get it. Good girl. I know. She said, what the heck were you doing? I just kind of went for it and said, can I get it? She went, no, you can't. Oh, I'm going to scratch that spot for you. I'm going to scratch that spot. We got another storm coming in. And it feels like we're going to start getting some rain or snow here pretty soon. She really likes the fact that I can scratch her. Good girl. Good girl. Now, I'm trying it this way. If I have to, I can toss this rope over her, pick up the other end, but I don't think I need to do that with her. Says, I know what you're trying to do. You're tricky. Well, I got lucky on that one. So what do? Let that rope go and then spin her around. Let her just relax. pick it up. Now you know why I have this long rope. Okay. So right there, she's going to have to get used to this rope. So I'm just going to toss it over, toss it over, toss it over. Good girl. Toss it over. Now I'm touching her with it. Good girl. Back away. Now she might get all wrapped up here. Good girl. Good girl. She is touching her legs. Just doing all kinds of ugly things to her in her mind. Good girl. Good girl. In a lot of ways, this rope is just desensitizing her. It's desensitizing her to things on her feet. Good girl. See, now she's mad at me. That's okay. When she figures this out, it's not going to be a big deal. Now here's a good thing right there. I can pick that rope up. Start understanding about getting off the pressure off her feet. Now we may go through this for, we may go through this for a few minutes, but you'll start seeing her calm down. Okay, so one phone died, so we're filming it on another one. But what you missed there was she just learned her first lesson about getting off the pressure. Now you watch this mare. Try not to put too much pressure on her in this pen because she has a tendency to rear up and strike in this room. So I'm going to come in here and ask her to go this way. Now I'm going to let her run out like a fish. I'm going to get over here, because I don't put it past her coming at me, but I'm going to put a little pressure right here. Get her to move around. Good girl. There, I don't want her rearing up in there. Good girl. Good girl. So every place she faces me, I take that pressure off. Right here. Good girl. I'm going to back off right there. So you can come soon. Now she's a little wary right here, so I have to be careful. Girl. Then I'm going to ask her to come with me. Or put a little pressure on her right here. And I'm going to take that pressure off because she moved her feet. It's ugly right now. It's not anything great. But that's the process. I'm going to put a little pressure right here. And she moved her feet and I take that pressure off. Good for that fence. Good girl. I'm going to put a little pressure here. And she's moving her feet. I don't want her rearing up. I want her to move her feet just a little bit, not get all crazy. There, she moves her feet. I take that pressure off. Good girl. Good girl. And let her smell my hand. Good girl. I know. Good girl. See, she's not used to the pressure of that lead rope on her. Good girl. Good girl. Now I have my knees just slightly bent. I don't want her to feel cornered. If she's going to go anywhere, she's hopefully going to go that way. And not clock me. I don't want her feeling cornered here. But she is cornered. Good girl. Good girl. I don't want to open my hands here. I just want to touch her with my fingertips. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Now you might hear it's raining. Good girl. So now I'm touching her and I've got this lead rope on. Good girl. Now she left me. She gives right there. She gave, so I took all that pressure off. Right there. Right there. Good girl. Now, I'm holding her with one hand. And I'm feeling for that give. She gave, and she just realized there was something happening there. That right there. She's feeling something happening. Right there. Right there. Good girl. Now that halter's way too far down on that nose. I do not want to put a lot of pressure on it because it's on the cartilage. So my goal here is to readjust that halter a little bit. Good girl. Right there, I just told her, don't go away. This is actually a great breakthrough right here. Down pretty good. I'm hoping she'll stand here. If she doesn't, she doesn't. So I'm pretty amazed at this horse so far. Amazed how willing she is. She's pretty excited. She's huffing and puffing, but she's not stomping me to death right now, and she could very well do that, especially in this open shed. But I kind of read that and hope for the best. I'm going to walk out here. I'm going to put a little tiny bit of pressure on her as I go away. And she faces me up. Take that off. And see that step right there? I'm going to throw her all the slack she wants. Good girl. Now I'm going to feed back in because she did so well. Let her smell my hand. Fine. Now I would like to get that snap on that other loop also. Just like that. Give it a little bit more even pull. I'm going to walk, and I'm going to ask her to come with me. See, her instinct is just to go into that pressure on her pole. And I'm going to ask her to get off of that instinct, even to take a step. Good girl. And face me, right there. And face me right here. Good girl. Just little stuff. This may be all I get today. I don't want to look in her eye right now. Good girl. Really have to control my heartbeat and my breathing right now. You're okay. Says, I like it when you scratch me, man. This left side's really giving to me today. Let's just bring her this way a little bit. So what do you want from me? Good. Good. Now she pulled at the end there, but here, I'm just going to pick up. I'm going to put ounces of pressure on that halter that she gave to me. Beautiful. So here's how you break it down. I'm going to pick up. Close this finger right here. I'll close this finger. I'll close that finger. What she gave to me, let that go. I'm going to pick up. I'm going to close this finger. And that finger. And she gave to me. I'm going to let go. And I'm going to pet her. She went, that's too much. You move too quick. Good girl. I'm going to pick up, and I'm going to close my fingers, and she, look at her coming my way, she's going, I don't understand, I don't understand, I don't understand, it's making me crazy, but I stopped and gave to you. That was a beautiful day. I've just got to guide her how I want her to go. This is a wild horse right here. You know, wrong hands, the sweetest, calmest wild horse is going to turn into a nightmare. And I'm really trying to guide this horse in the direction I need her to go. I know she's comfortable up in here, so I'm going to come way out here. Good girl. See, she fought that and took 2 steps forward. Good girl. Good girl. I want to reach in, I want to approach. And now I can just touch her head. Pick up. Good girl, look at that. She took a couple steps forward. Let me back off. Really like her to follow me out here. Oh, we just made a breakthrough. I don't care what she does right now. Oh my goodness, we just made another breakthrough. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Now, I'm going to try not to get in a big fight here. Good. See, she's trying to figure out how not to get upset. If she's licking and chewing, I'm going to ask her, go. She says, I'm going to stick my foot in my water. Good girl. Good girl. She's actually starting to give to me. Right there. Good girl. Good girl. Grandpa's pony.
Yeah.
Last phases of figuring out that this rope won't give just because she rotates. There. Good girl. She ain't Grandpa's pony. Good girl. She's figuring out right at this moment that fighting is not very good for her. She doesn't get away. And I'm not trying to get in a fight, I'm just keeping that pressure on her until she gets down. And yes, you gotta have some strength to do that. And yes, it can be ugly at times. But overall, she learned something there. She learned that the halter is unyielding. The rope is where to go to get relief. Good girl. Now I'm going to walk off. I'd like her to come a couple steps with me. Just even if it's over this way. Beautiful. Good girl. I'm going to pet her for that. Who's your baby? I know, this is crazy stuff for you, isn't it? You're a proud wild mare, and this is just crazy stuff. I'm rubbing her up on the pole. Good girl. I'm going to back off, walk off, see if she'll get off that pressure at all. She's pointing her head my way, which is good. Let's see if she'll just come this way a step or two. She said I might still have a little fight in me. Let's see if I can get her to come this way. Good girl. Good girl. See, these are all things got to soak on her a little bit. Soak. But I couldn't touch her head before this. Whoa, I'm almost done for today with her. Because next time, I may get a little bit more. I want to see if she'll come with me here. I don't want to clamp down on this rope. I just want to see if I can get a little release off that pressure. See her? Oh, good girl. Good girl. Just that movement. Just that movement was wonderful. Good girl. Oh, this kind of stuff, man, it can look ugly sometime, but it depends how much of a fight you really want to get in with them. So I'm going to ask her, see, just ounces of pressure. You know, I can always close my thumbs down and tighten up. She's searching for the release right there. Beautiful. Ounces of pressure. You don't have to snatch them around all the time. There are times when you got to double horse around. Especially Mustangs, boy, when they're trying to really run off, man, I will snatch them around. I'll put some pressure. But a big horse like this, she gets her head going away from me, just let go of the rope, because she will drag your rear end around and launch you 20 feet up in the air. And you'll be going face first in the sand. Get your face exfoliated really quickly. But I want this horse to know softness and know how to do things without all the force. But if she's rearing up and striking and all that stuff, then she's got to get off of that pressure. So I'm asking her right here, ounces of pressure, right? She moved. I'm happy. I'm happy with that. I'm going to come in on this side, reward this side. You're all right now. Tell her, don't go away. Good girl. Good girl. In 1 week out of holding, we're doing pretty darn good. Yes, ma'am. So again, I'm going to pick up. I'm going to look down. I'm going to turn my body sideways and away from her a little bit to kind of say, this is the way I'd like you to come. And I'm going to put ounces of pressure, just ounces, and let her feel that, not get into a brick wall. And let her off right there. You're a good girl. And say, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for, Missy. You know what? And that is a pretty darn good place to stop. Now before, when I was even touching that halter, she'd jerk away and run. And that's a good place to stop for today.